LPBW. Are Amy Marek still together? After 3 years of marriage life update, where they stand. Dear loves, welcome to TLC Drama. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. Amy joined the Little People Big World series as the wife of Matt Roloff. She married Marek after a few years of her divorce. The LPBW stars have been married for over 3 years now. Amy and Chris became fan favorites for their amazing chemistry and bond. Fans love watching the former living her best life. She faced many difficulties in her previous marriage. The reality TV star discussed Matt's alleged infidelity on various platforms. Hence, fans like to see Amy getting all the love and attention from her husband. They go out on vacation and have fun. Chris also has a great bond with his wife's children. So, fans are curious to know where the couple's marriage stands. Are they still going strong? Where are they now? What do we know about them? LPBW stars. Amy and Chris have become inseparable since their wedding in August 2021. The latter has a great relationship with his wife's kids and grandkids. He often visits them and has fun with them. Recently, Matt and Amy surprised their fans after their special Thanksgiving celebration. They decided to invite all their kids together at home. Fans have not seen the family together for a long time because of the ongoing feud with Matt. Zach also avoided many family gatherings to avoid his siblings. Hence, fans were surprised when they saw Zach, Jacob, and Jeremy with their families in the same frame. Amy shared the rare family picture with her followers and gushed over the memory. Fans love to watch Chris and Amy spend their Thanksgiving with their loved ones. Amy and Chris are a huge fan of traveling. They love going on vacations and showing off their extraordinary lives. The Little People Big World stars dated for almost 5 years before they tied the knot. Amy and Chris are now living each moment of their lives and fulfilling their wishes. They often go out on trips to have a fun time together. The LPBW stars will complete 4 years of marriage in August this year. However, Amy and Chris make sure to make each moment special with each other. Recently, they went to Mexico for a break. Hence, the former shared several wholesome moments with her husband in the form of a clip. She thanked her friends, Lisa and Art, for hosting them at Cabo Mexa. The reality TV star expressed how much they enjoyed with each other in the city. Amy wrote, "Till next time, homeward bound today, Cabo love." Fans gushed over Amy and Chris for having their best time together. They loved to see the former receiving so much love from her new husband. One fan said, "Aw, you two are so cute together." Another user expressed how much they miss seeing them on the show. Moreover, a different fan noted how wonderful Amy and Chris looked together. Did you like Chris and Amy's latest updates? Do you also wish to see them together always? Little People Big World star. Amy Roloff's creative recipes and cooking videos may help her transition from reality star to esteemed chef. The matriarch of the Roloff family's simple yet impressive recipes add a modern twist to traditional dishes. Amy has always had a passion for cooking and baking, and with the publication of her most recent cookbook, Eat, Love, Gather, Amy is making a name for herself in the culinary world. Amy and her family have appeared in Little People Big World for 25 seasons. As a mother of 4, she owned a pumpkin farm in Hillsboro, Oregon, with her ex-husband, Matt Roloff. Little People Big World documented the family as Amy and Matt divorced. Amy moved away from the farm, and their children grew up and started their own families. Amy, who is now married to Marek, has leaned into her cooking as the show's future grows uncertain. Given her impressive selection of recipes, Amy is well on her way to making cooking her new career. Chris joined Amy as she whipped up a batch of hamburgers with a clever addition. Little People Big World star. Amy added a layer of Black Forest ham on her burgers, followed by a sauce made from mayonnaise and chopped dill pickle. She finished the meal with paprika-seasoned potato wedges and sriracha ketchup. Making a summer meal in the middle of winter, Amy cooked her hamburgers indoors on the stovetop. She explained that she seasoned her meat, so the focus remained on the ham and sauce. The simplicity of Amy's cooking makes her recipes attainable to even novice chefs, but her unexpected gourmet details elevate the dishes. As Amy finished assembling the meal, Chris joined her for dinner and called her method a great way to build a burger. Amy turned traditional salad on its head with her Bloody Mary salad recipe. She wrote in the caption, "Who says salads have to be boring?" Amy's salad includes tomato, celery, red onions, and parsley, and it is finished with a spicy horseradish and Tabasco dressing. She added the hashtag creative cooking. Since beginning their romance, Amy and Chris are often shown on Little People, Big World, enjoying a cocktail with friends or just each other. Amy's Bloody Mary salad is reminiscent of the couple's ability to take time to enjoy the little things and indulge. Her addition of a cocktail-inspired twist to the salad is proof of Amy's fun-loving yet comforting nature, which is part of what has made her such a beloved television figure. Amy's brownie cookie mashup displays her ability to think outside the box. The added effort she took to prepare 2 different dessert mixes surely paid off given the classic pairing of peanut butter and chocolate. Amy's combination of 2 simple ideas results in a unique dessert, yet still brings a familiar comfort dot. Amy shared the spotlight with some of her grandchildren, Ember Roloff, Bode Roloff, and Radley Roloff, as she filmed a video in her son Jeremy Roloff's kitchen. With her grandchildren in mind, Amy put her spin on corn dogs by adding shredded cheese and chopped hot dogs to a homemade corn muffin mix. She noted the difficulty of cooking in an unfamiliar kitchen, but Amy improvised quickly and adapted her recipe to the equipment she had. Amy's grandchildren are a huge part of her life. This recipe by Amy is a particular example of her focus on family, as Amy's love for cooking grew from her desire to comfort and nourish her children. Although she mentioned the lighting was not ideal, and the sounds of her grandchildren playing echoed in the background, Amy remained calm and focused while she executed her recipe. Amy's natural warmth as a mother and grandmother is evident in her willingness to stay flexible and cook something for the children to enjoy. As she cooked, Amy noted Chris had just arrived home and was tiptoeing around the kitchen to avoid disturbing her. This glimpse into their relationship shows the respect the couple has for one another, allowing space for their passions. Chris has been a healthy addition to Amy's life, supporting her without being overbearing. Chris could be heard commenting off camera that the lasagna was looking good. Amy's sophisticated yet casual recipes are a perfect representation of her personality. Amy is a level-headed mother and has stayed dignified through her divorce and the Roloffs' family drama. However, she also has a knack for entertaining and pays attention to the small details that matter the most. When Amy's time on Little People, Big World ends, Little People, Big World star Chris Marek's stirring up trouble by building such a strong friendship with Amy Roloff's ex, Matt Roloff, this will end in tears. Chris may not fully understand how much emotional damage he's causing, and he needs to wake up. Amy has made it crystal clear that she hates the situation. When he continues his friendship with the man who hurt Amy so much, Chris seems passive-aggressive. Amy quote, "S a strong woman. She's spent her life trying to live up to other people's expectations. As a little person in a world designed for taller people, she's overcome so many obstacles. Now, after a painful divorce that made her utterly miserable, and family drama over the fate of Roloff Farms, she deserves some peace. Amy has raised her children. She's a loving grandmother, a caring wife, and a good friend. She needs a husband who doesn't rub salt in the wound. Little People. Big World's Chris Marek's relatives said on screen that he was lonely before he met Amy and fell in love with her. Maybe he wanted more male friends too. It's possible that he and Matt just clicked. They actually seem to get along better than Chris and Amy do. Chris and Matt love each other. It really is a bromance. They're all lit up when they're together. This is a worst-case scenario for Amy. So Chris might be lonely, and his new life with Amy, which includes time with Matt, may be filling some void. However, he should look for other ways to expand his posse. Matt isn't the right person to confide in. Amy's always stressed around Matt. She struggles to be civil to Corinne Chandler too. This woman took her man. So Amy already has serious challenges, which she handles with a lot of grace. However, everyone has their limit. Sometimes it seems like Matt deserves the same type of criticism. He's a man who wants his way. He's goal-oriented and even caused a feud with his children, listing the farm for sale instead of passing it down to them. In December 2023, after listing the property twice, he took it off the market. Zach tried to buy it, but didn't offer enough money. This stuff is very hurtful for the children, and Zach's had a hard time getting past it. He and Matt are basically estranged. Any contact that they do have is painfully awkward. Nonetheless, Matt, who left Amy for a Roloff Farms employee, Corinne, feels comfortable shading his ex-wife. He hates Amy's bossy ways. Amy says she's learned from experience that there can't be too many bosses, someone has to be in control. There may be some truth to that, but Matt and Corinne, who just announced their engagement in real life, feel like Amy wants to micromanage everyone. There's a lot of tension simmering under the surface in the family. People are pushing down some of their emotions rather than expressing them. For this reason, Chris should stay away from Matt. If he does that, Amy can relax. She won't be triggered all the time, she can just be herself. Amy needs to find out who she is away from Matt. She doesn't need him anymore. While Chris is making a mistake with this friendship, he's wonderful to Amy. In other ways. Chris seems very mellow, friendly, and cool. He's adventurous enough to be interesting. He has changed his life a lot for Amy. For example, he never wanted kids, but now has a lot of interactions with Amy's children and grandchildren. He does his best to be there for Amy's kids and grandkids. When he bought one grandchild a bike, it was a very sweet moment. Chris is trying. See him on his motorcycle trip with Amy above, as per World Today at YouTube. Maybe he wants the Roloff grandkids to ride motorbikes someday. Yes, he made Amy freeze on the back of a motorbike for hours because he wanted to have a grand adventure. However, when it was all over, Amy was probably glad that she went with him. These new experiences that he gives her are priceless. Without him nudging her to branch out and explore, she might spend too much time living in the past. Chris is positive, upbeat, and able to get along with a lot of people. The realtor in him is used to schmoozing, and schmoozing well, so it's not surprising that he's able to bond with Matt. Chris is a people person, but to Amy, Matt is a toxic man. He is someone that should be avoided unless Amy says they should all get together. Hopefully, Chris will come to his senses. This situation has become unpleasant for Amy. She complains about it to other people. To keep their marriage strong, the couple should spend time with Matt only when they have to. Amy should be the one who decides when everyone gets together. If star Chris changes his ways, the duo has a good shot at happiness. He's adventurous, yes, but he's also a calming presence. He's nice and he's fun to be around. Life should be fun, and with Matt, Amy was always walking on eggshells. With Chris, she can picnic in a park or watch him enjoy the treats Amy bakes. Her love and sense of duty were something that Matt never really understood. Chris is much gentler with her feelings. Except when it comes to Matt. Little people, big world star Amy Roloff dealt with so much hardship in her life, including a shocking divorce from Matt Roloff, and it's possible that she's still pining for her ex. While Amy's moved on with Marek, she clearly deals with emotional turmoil while interacting with Matt and his new fiancée, Karen Chandler. Matt broke Amy's heart. Did it ever really heal? She wanted to be his wife forever. Now she's got a new man, but the past casts a long, dark shadow. Amy may still be hurting and wishing that her life had turned out differently. She may blame Corinne for ruining it. Little people, big world. Season 25 star. Amy hasn't had the easiest life, and if she feels bitter and jealous sometimes, that's only fair. However, on screen, Matt's engagement with Corinne may be hurting her more than it should. Amy married Chris on August 28, 2021, and it seems like she should be over Matt. However, she's clearly extremely uncomfortable while interacting with Corinne. Matt and Amy's relationship seemed shady at the start, and Amy's obviously haunted by that. Amy really loved Matt and wanted to be with him forever. Corinne tore her whole life apart during the Little People Big World Season 25 premiere, the trailers shown above. As per TLC, Zach Roloff had a terrible health crisis that was hard to watch. His excruciating headache was a sign of a deeper problem. He needed surgery as the shunt implanted in his head, which was meant to relieve pressure, wasn't working properly. However, there was more drama. Matt decided to propose to Corinne, and as Amy absorbed that news, he and Corinne told her that they planned to leave her whatever share of the farm they owned when they passed away. To Corinne, that must require so much effort, as she surely feels like Corinne betrayed her. Karen was an employee at Roloff Farms when she became involved with Matt. Amy reportedly found racy texts between the two, including naughty photos, which greatly upset her. It was all so nasty and hurtful. Clearly, Matt fell head over heels in love with Karen, and that was the reason why Amy's marriage with Matt, which had lasted for 28 years, ended in 2015. Amy's a good woman, but she'd have to be a saint not to resent and probably secretly hate Corinne. The other woman wreaked havoc. Amy's admitted she'll never be friends with Corinne. However, Matt's the prime mover here. He was the one who was in a marriage with Amy. Nonetheless, Corinne was fully aware of Matt's marital status. Therefore, both are to blame. People fall in love, things happen, and sometimes falling in love can be very destructive. Matt's love for Corinne, whose intentions are often questioned, meant that Amy's marriage was destroyed. Of course, Matt shouldn't stay in a marriage with a woman he doesn't love, particularly when he's in love with another woman. However, what Matt and Karen did to Amy was brutal. Imagine how Amy must have felt when she found those secret messages. The pain must have been unbearable. Amy's had to face some hard truths about Matt, unfortunately. She also has to deal with Corinne sometimes. Life would probably be more pleasant if Amy didn't have to be polite to Matt's partner. Amy bravely does what she has to do, mostly for the sake of her children. A part of Amy may still love Matt, but she had enough courage to move on. Amy is very strong. It's inspiring how she's achieved so much despite a host of challenges, including dwarfism. Society isn't always kind to little people. Nonetheless, Amy got a business degree. Also, Amy helped Matt with Roloff Farms for years, working hard to please a man who is often irritable and difficult. In Matt's defense, he has lived with pain his whole life. His form of dwarfism brings more health issues than Amy's. Chronic pain will negatively impact a person's mood. It's a lot to live with. Amy, whose pumpkin salsa is a hit, is an amazing cook and a caring mother. She was a loving wife. She met Matt at a conference for little people. They married the same year. To Amy, that must have felt like a fairy tale. The down-to-earth Virgo Amy may not have been romantic enough for Libra Matt, as he developed a wandering eye. Perhaps Matt and Amy just weren't compatible. However, Amy didn't know that Matt was so unhappy. She was blindsided. While Amy seems grouchy and bossy sometimes, when all the stress and pain she's endured are considered, she's actually very gentle. There's something noble about the way she's trying to deal with all of this. Perhaps Matt and Amy don't deserve Amy's kindness. They may not appreciate everything that's beautiful about her. Hopefully, little people, big worlds Chris Marek does, and viewers do. Matt and Karen may not even be telling the truth about their plans to leave the farm to Amy. Matt once told his sons that they would be allowed to take over the farm someday. Instead, Matt sold them out. He could do the same thing to Amy. Matt. And Amy's marriage wasn't perfect before Corinne came in and drilled the final nail in the coffin. They already had problems which made Matt more susceptible to an affair. Matt seemed to cut Amy down a lot. It's like he didn't truly respect his wife, who's the mother of his children. However, there's no good reason not to respect Amy. Amy's not a bad person. Amy tried to make Matt happy and be a good mother. She's still doing those things. She's attempting to be cordial with Corinne, which must be rough. She was there for Zach during his recent health crisis. Matt wasn't there. Amy's the one who keeps the peace. Matt's more warlike. He's happy with Corinne, but maybe he should be more wary. Amy should probably be wary too. Both of these little people have ended up with typically sized adults who fell in love with them after they became famous. It's possible that Amy and Matt are being used. Amy and Matt have celebrity, clout, and money. When Amy and Matt fell in love, perhaps it was more honest and real. Someday Matt may regret believing in Corinne so much and leaving Amy. Another scenario is that he'll be happy in a relationship that's secretly transactional. Do these regular-sized people really love their little people partners? They could, but because there's so much suspicion about their motives, it's possible that they don't. They may be able to fake it over the long term for personal gain. They could be fond of their partners, but not deeply in love. There are all kinds of possibilities beyond these two people, Corinne and Chris, truly adoring their significant others. When Amy invented a pumpkin salsa recipe, which they went on to sell as one of the farm's offerings, Matt attempted to take credit for the idea. A man who loved his wife probably wouldn't do that. Why Matt felt compelled to claim the credit for his wife's ingenuity is anyone's guess. Maybe he feels threatened when other people achieve. The pumpkin salsa drama was a very bad sign and a red flag. Today, Amy's cooking skills have helped to keep her in the public eye. She has her own recipe book. So Amy was able, once again, to move past Matt's negativity and hindering. On another occasion, during a getaway at a dude ranch, Matt felt that Amy dropped the ball by choosing that destination, so he left early and hurt his wife in the process. Yes, the dude ranch might not have been the right choice for him. He felt that his mobility problems made having a good time there impossible, and he was probably right about that. However, he didn't really care how Amy